Good evening, everyone. This is Anna Albert, the venue director of Special Olympics cheerleading program. We also have Russell Lyons, the assistant venue director, on the line with us. Mike Staranowski, he is also on the line and will be assisting with any questions or hand raising that may occur during the webinar. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time this evening to attend our pre-competition webinar. I will begin now. As a reminder, this session is being recorded, so please make sure that your lines are muted if you are not already muted by the presenter. This evening, you'll see the agenda. I am not going to read all the slides for word, and mindful of everyone's time. We have been having our competition this will be the 9th year, and I'm so happy and excited to see all of the teams again in just a few weeks. Your competition team, of course, you have myself as your venue director and Russell Lyons as assistant venue director. Ann Leamer, who has been a certified panel judge for us for the last 9 years, will be on the head rules officials, as well as Greg Collins, our safety and panel judge. Again, this year, our national governing bodies remain the same. They're just here for a reference for you, and just a quick reminder that we are using the USASF rules for the Special Needs Competitive Division, for the Elite Division only, as well as for our Tom and Hip Hop. The first schedule you see, I have sent this out to all of the head coaches prior to this evening. You'll see that we're running a very tight schedule. Team registration and your music checks will begin promptly at 9:30 and will go for 30 minutes. Your head coaches meeting, which will be held with Russell Lyons, will be held on the competition mat at approximately 9:40. Russell will go over just some general information with you, answer any last-minute questions you may have. But as a reminder, this is just a quick, informative meeting. We don't have anything to do with schedule changes or athletes being added or removed, because none of that is allowed after this evening, because all competition rosters are due and complete by this evening. We'll have our brief welcoming ceremonies, which will begin approximately 10:15. Will last more than 15 minutes. I did send an email to all the coaches asking them for recommendations for the athlete's oath, the coach's oath, and pledge. If you haven't had the opportunity to do that, if you could please send that to me within the next day or two, I will be making those final decisions. Lunch will be held from 11:30 to 12:30. We will not be stopping competition. We will do it as we have in the past. Thank you all very much for having your lunch orders into me as I requested. We do plan on having them grouped together by counties as we did last year. It seemed to work very, very well. We do recommend that you have someone assigned, whether it be one of your parents or your assistant coaches, to gather them for you, because that worked very well last year. I'm very excited. If you'll look to the end of the schedule, you will see the SOMO YAPs will be performing at 1:30. For those of you who are not familiar with YAPs, that is our Young Athletes program for athletes that are ages 2 to 7 years of age, and we're very, very excited to have them perform for us this year. We will have our Regal All-Stars performing our high-pack energy routine for the entertainment of the athletes, and then we will move directly into awards. I will now be sharing with you a few master schedules for the Summer Games. This is just general information for all delegations. On Thursday, if any of your delegates are going to be staying overnight in the dorms, There will be delegation registration that is handled by your HOD or so designated individual. And if any of you are HODs, there will be the HOD meeting in the Loch Raven room on Thursday evening.
And Anna, this is Steve. If you can hear me, I can jump in and run through these general slides if that's okay.
Go right on, Steve. Would you like me to go back to Thursday, or is Friday good?
No, you did Thursday very well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, again, here is Friday's schedule. As you know, the cheerleading competition from 10 to 3. And we will, like Anna said, have the lunches available for the cheerleading delegates. The family hospitality will be there on Friday, most likely in the lobby or right outside during the cheerleading competition. Then it will move to the lot 21, which is the Towson Center lot, and that will be the family hospitality throughout the games for everyone that is participating at Towson University, regardless of what sport. Friday night's dinner will be in the Susquehanna Dining Hall from 4 to 6, and right beside that, in the Potomac Room, there will be a dance demonstration, not to be confused with the cheerleading, hip-hop, or the dance that we have on Saturday evening. This, again, is just some Special Olympics athletes and some others that were just performing a demonstration for entertainment purposes. So if you're over there during that time frame, obviously getting some dinner, stop by and check those guys out. The block party, which will be in lot 20, which is the CQ Arena lot, same as last year. We'll have some merchandise sales and some other activities there. Again, just some coaches meetings. We're still working on the exact locations for the other sports on Friday evening. The staging for the parade of athletes that will be marching in for the opening ceremony will occur the same place as last year, again in lot 20. That's the CQ Arena parking lot. And then we'll parade in, have the great opening ceremony with some interesting and new ideas that were floating around that will be presented on the video boards throughout the opening ceremony. And then if you, along with your other coaches and chaperones, etc., could pass this message along, we're asking everyone to do this, please, as your area and county programs, stay seated after the opening ceremony and wait for your area and county to be called for dismissal so that we can have an organized dismissal out to lot 20 to board buses for departure to your overnight stays. We can go to the next. Breakfast, again, will start from 6 to 8:15 at the Susquehanna Dining Room, same place as years past at the University Union. And then we will start with the shuttle buses heading to our off-site venues and then throughout campus, and we'll get to transportation a little bit later. There's the basic competition schedule for the other sports. And again, as noted on Saturday, the family hospitality for everyone on Towson University campus will be in lot 21, which again is the Towson Center parking lot. Healthy athletes will be offered at the Towson Center. We'll have, again, in lot 21, merchandise, some other activities, some entertainment, and then dinner will be provided at the Towson Center parking lot on Saturday evening. Our development team has created a partnership with Famous Days for the summer games, and they'll be providing our dinner. We'll work with the head of delegations for any athletes who will need special dietary needs or if they have restrictions. And we will work with your head delegates to obtain that information and then provide those special meals for the athletes as needed. Again, just a basic information, the head of delegation meeting will happen on Saturday evening. And then not to forget to stick around and head out to the stadium, the softball stadium, which is right by the CQ Arena for the home run derby and a softball game that evening, which is pretty cool to watch. If you haven't seen that, please stop by and check it out. And then again, the biggest announcement of the day, it seems to be, or at least every year, what's the theme of the dance? The theme of the dance is the 70s era, and we'll get a little bit more detail in just a second. But again, this will be in lot 21, the Towson Center parking lot, weather permitting. The Olympic Park and dance will be outside, along with the dinner. If we have inclement weather, we will move that inside to the Towson Center. And then a reminder, as the years pass, we have the family reception, which is dedicated to family members only, athletes, coaches, etc. Be out with the delegation members at the dance. But the family reception is basically only for family members. It's an information sharing and gathering and quiet time for families to ask questions for the movement and for their individual concerns. Next. And then Sunday, basically breakfast, get on the buses, go to your competition, and stop by Family Hospitality in Lot 21 at the Towson Center. And then here we have a couple venue maps, and you want me to hit this as well, Anna? I'm happy to do so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some of the new changes this year, if you look in the middle of the map here where it says in the green box, parking, volunteers, and family spectators, that's where we would like to have everyone park. We will have shuttle services that will be servicing that lot and hitting all of the venues. And again, we'll get to some of the specifics in a minute. Parking will be extremely limited at the Towson Center during the cheerleading competition. So get there early, get on the buses. They will drop off right at the Towson Center and then spin around because we will have some activities occurring in that parking lot, getting ready for our vendors, tents and other things, getting ready for the Olympic Park that will be occurring all day Saturday and Sunday. So again, just want to stress parking in lots 13 and 14. Shuttles will take you down around to the left on Auburn Drive, make the loop right up to Towson Center. The other things, as Anna mentioned, the YAP demonstration at cheerleading, but down in the far right corner at the Towson Center, we'll also have a YAP demonstration for the full program that will be occurring on Saturday. That will be from 10 to 1, and you will look that in the master schedule in a little bit. Again, highlight, if we can go back real quick. Perfect, very good. The housing up in the top right, you'll see we're in Glen Tower C and D this year, in the top, kind of right there. And then right across to the left, all the way to the other side, you'll see the Douglas and Towson Run apartments. Those are the other possible housing facilities this year. Let's see, we hit the family reception. That will be in lot 21. And I'm seeing if there's anything else that needs to be, the volunteer registration. If you know anyone coming to volunteer, again, they'll park in lots 13, 14, and come to Towson Center parking lot. That's where volunteers will check in. Okay, I think that's good on that slide. Back to you, Anna.
This is your general cheerleading layout. The layout is exactly the same, coaches, as it has been in the prior years. You'll enter in via the main entrance at lot 21. Head coaches, please stop by check-in to check in your teams and receive your delegation package. We will be pulling the bleachers out as far as they will go at my request from Towson. We do still plan to have the teams all sit in the same area on the right as soon as you come in for ease of movement to the warm-up areas and then your progression through to staging and onto the mat. We do ask that all of your spectators and parents, please ask them to sit in the areas that are not designated for your county. And your counting seating, of course, is your coaches, your delegates, and volunteers that you have registered on your roster. General map for you, Steve.
Yeah, again, these are the next couple slides are just some basic bearings, just indicating where we'll be in the Towson area. Again, we have with the little pin points on the map, we have Towson University, We have our off-site swimming venue at Loyola Blakefield, and then our off-site softball location at Cockeysville Middle School. Again, this is just another basic giving you some visuals of where we are. It kind of shows you the Glen Towers, the University Union, where the dinings, where the breakfast and dinner on Friday night will occur. Then obviously the United Stadium for track and field, and the Towson Run Apartments, which again is the other housing facility. And this is the Loyola Blakefield. I know most of you aren't involved with the swimming competition, but if you are, or if you plan to go support the other athletes that are participating in swimming, just know that please use the shuttles that will be leaving from Towson University. The Towson Center, or the Towson University, will provide shuttles going to Loyola Blakefield for swimming, as the parking at that facility will be extremely limited. And I don't want anyone to get over there as a spectator and be turned away and have to come all the way back. So we encourage you to ride the shuttles that you can pick up at the University Union Garage to head out to Loyola Blakefield to see the swimming competition and support your fellow athletes and coaches. This is just, again, the other off-site venue. This is Cockeysville Middle School, where most of our team competition will take place. We will have a few games that will be located at the stadium at Towson University in the softball stadium, and then our individual skills competition for softball will be located on the adjacent field by the softball stadium on Towson campus. Again, with transportation, we'll have the shuttles going out to Cockeysville as well. So those shuttles will be marked. You can pick that up at the same place at the University Union Garage. Back to you, Anna.
Steve. Thank you very much. Moving into general competition information for our venue. Team registration, as I had mentioned, will open at 9:30 in the morning. We do ask that the head coach sign in and register. You can register all of your teams or just the particular team that you may be responsible for. At this time, in the event that there are any additional scratches, please communicate them to our registered volunteer. Very important. All of your athletes and partners, they need to arrive 30 minutes prior to your scheduled team warm-up. So if your scheduled team warm-up is 10:30, your athletes need to be there by no later than 10 a.m., but your head coach must have your teams registered between 9:30 and 10 a.m. If an athlete or partner is not present by the time your team is on deck, then the athlete will be scratched from competition at this time. So please, again, look at the schedules that have been previously sent. It provides you your warm-up, your on-deck times. As of this evening, no one can be added to the rosters. Those deadlines have passed. And any athlete that was not properly registered, this includes volunteers, chaperone coaches, etc., that did not have all of their deadline or requirements needed by this evening, they will be deleted from summer games. This is not coming from me. This comes from the pre-announced deadlines per summer games. When you arrive, a delegation package will be provided for each team. So if you have 4 teams competing, you will have 4 delegation packages. Inside it, we'll have a couple of the competition schedules, a few venue maps, and we will have our cheerograms as we had in the past. The only cheergram that we will be able to read will be from the head coach while your team is on the mat. When we first started this, we were able to read all of them, but for the sake of time, it will be read from the head coach only. The others will be delivered throughout the competition by our volunteers. Your head coaches meeting will be at 9:40. It will be in the center of the mat with Russell Lyons. At this time, he will give you any last-minute instructions of anything that may have happened between now and then, but we're really not anticipating any of that. As a reminder, this is not
wear stiletto high heels.
Thank you, Russell. This is not the time to go over any division requirements or technical stunting questions. They will not be answered at this time. And as Russell said, please, with the competition etiquette, no stiletto heels on the mat. Warm-ups will begin promptly at 10:05, and we're going to follow the same format as we did at the qualifier. Your team will warm up, then they will proceed directly to on deck, and then directly onto the competition mat. Please, again, just look at your schedules to make sure that you are mindful of your time. We will have team escorts, as we have had in the past, to come and assist you with bringing your team to the different areas for the flow throughout the competition. Very important, we had a few hiccups at the qualifier where proper techniques for spotting was not there. As a reminder, divisions require a minimum of 2 spotters. This is from the time you practice to the time you get onto the mat. If you have 3 stunt groups, you need 3 spotters. If you have any questions about that, I am going to stop now because I want to make sure that everybody has their proper number of spotters required for competition.
Okay, and it looks like Tracy has a question. Tracy, I'm going to unmute your phone. You can go ahead and ask that. You there, Tracy? Hello? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get to work in a week. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, this isn't about she's asking, can we please get an electronic copy of the cheergram form if parents would like to print and fill them out in advance?
I'll be happy to do so.
Okay. And that actually right now, I don't see any raised hands and I don't see any other questions, so it looks like that is the only question.
Perfect.
Right now.
Thank you very much. As you see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, Russell, did you have something you wanted to say?
No, I didn't say anything.
Thank you. You'll see that I have highlighted and in red about tumbling and stunting not being permitted on concrete or other hard surfaces. Remember, please just make sure that you adhere to this. I know we have wonderful coaches and this is not going to be an issue, but I just like to stress it. And we will provide a CD player at the venue, but if you have one of your own and you want to bring it with you for your warm-up, please feel free to do so. General music for the venue will be provided by our professional DJ that has been with us the last couple of years. We're very fortunate to have them back with us. Please remember to bring your music on a regular CD. We do recommend a minimum of 2 copies because we've all had that hiccup where our CDs don't work. Please make sure that they are not your CD RWs, as they won't play on all sound systems, and this does come from our DJ. Just a quick reminder, if your music check time is from 9:30 to 10, please make sure you don't leave your music with the DJ. Take it with you. And you are responsible for starting and stopping. The DJ will not be able to do any of that for you. And if you have not, between the qualifier and now, provided me with your license for the copyright of your music, please make sure that you have it with you when you register for the competition. If you don't, then there will be no music played for your routine. Any questions on that? Most of you have sent that to me. I've even received your copies of purchasing your music on Amazon and iTunes and all of those. So I think we're pretty good. But again, I stress that that big change for this year. Competition etiquette. please, we ask you not to have your athletes or anyone walk on the mat or behind the judges. We made adjustments 2 years ago with the traffic flow, making sure there was ample space, behind the judges for everyone to be able to go around in that circle type of environment to get to the different places. Please, we ask if you could ask your families if they could make sure that they turn their cell phones off or they're placed in the silent vibrate mode. We do know that at times our athletes can be easily distracted, and we definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen for them. And if you do need to use your cell phone, I do ask that if you please take it out into the lobby. For the safety of everyone, I please ask that you help us throughout the venue to keep, the aisleways clear, the hallways clear, and also the bleachers for ease of going, up and down, so that, we're not blocked for any emergencies, God forbid, should that happen. We are asking that the teams and the spectators limit as much as possible their movement in the bleachers while a team is performing their routine. It's courtesy, that we all try to stay remedial and not moving all over the place. By all means, show your team spirit. Cheer, participate in their cheers where, they're asking you to, clap your hands or stomp your feet, so just to show good team spirit. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that sportsmanship is extremely important at all competitions for Special Olympics and any other events that you may be attending. As we briefly touched on, lunch should arrive roughly about 11:30. I did turn in any special lunch requests. I understand this year there may be some gluten-free bread options that are available. I passed all of your special requests on to our food committee, and we hopefully expect everything to run as smoothly as possible. The distribution of your lunches once they arrive, that's totally at your discretion, coaches. Have your athletes eat when you feel it's appropriate for them. As I said, we're not going to actually stop competition just to have a lunch break. And again, I do recommend that you designate a couple of individuals to collect your lunches for you. Cheerograms, yes, I will make sure that I send out electronic copy to all of the head coaches, and then you can disseminate them from there. We'll have a table set up at registration where if someone would like to fill one out, they're welcome to do so. Please make sure that you ask your family members and so forth, if it's coming from a family member, to write your delegation, Montgomery, Hartford, Howard, and your team's name, so that we can make sure that they get to your teams appropriately. If your athlete, unified partner, coach, etc., is selected for the oath or the pledge, we do ask that you report to the Master of Ceremonies podium at 10:05. And once I receive everyone's recommendation, I will send out by no later than Friday of this week to you if your athlete has been selected, so that you are aware. Awards will be presented at the conclusion of competition on the center of the competition mat, as we always have in the past. Results will be posted in the lobby of the Towson Center immediately following the competition. As a general reminder, Towson University is a smoke-free campus, and we do ask you to please communicate to your families to refrain from using lighted tobacco products on campus during the summer games. And I believe, and Mike or Steve can correct me, this also follows if you're at Loyola or off-site on Cockeysville Field.
Correct.
Thank you. I'm just going to go over just a couple of the rules. I think we all got this down. Everybody's had their, has been able to ask questions of myself or Russell. If you still have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either one of us. and we'll make sure that you get your clarity. Coaches, remember, you can place your athletes on the floor, but once you, the head coach, have finished placing the athletes on the floor or your helpers, you yourself as the head coach must come off the mat at that time, and this rule, of course, will be enforced for all divisions. Make sure you have your spotters, whether they're your stunt spotters, your permanent spotters that you have made myself and Russell aware of that are required for safety, or your individuals that are moving your athletes on the floor as so needed, whether they're in a walker or a wheelchair. Please make sure that when you do kneel down in front of the mat, that you're on to the right or the left of the judges' tables. Please not in front of the judges' tables so that they have full view of your athletes competing. We've discussed your athletes, your sponsors being able to move your athletes, safety ones. And as a quick reminder, all tumbling skills must remain in contact with the performance service except with the elite division, which are able to complete a round off and one back handspring. Can't stress sportsmanship enough. Each team will be judged continually throughout the competition. In other words, even though a team is not performing, you could potentially have points deducted for unsportsmanlike conduct. Approaching the mat, there will be 2 announcements for your teams, as historically the first will be recognizing the team in the division, that the next team coming to the mat will be the Howard County Hawks, and we please ask for you to keep your athletes until you hear from the Master of Ceremonies that sprinkles or stars, you may take the mat. Regarding our scoring and policy for 1 squad division, I believe we may have 1 or 2 divisions this year that have just 1 squad. As a reminder, the squad must score within 20% of the maximum judges' points in order to receive first place. Gold is not an automatic. Your team is competing against the score. We do have the 5-judge panel where the highest and lowest scores will be dropped. In the event those scores would be added back in order to be used to break a tie. There is also your overall official deductions and violation sheet, which is being calculated by a separate judge. And we all know how that works. If you get 300 points, but they said you have 10-point deduction for whatever particular reason, your score would then be 280. Please remember, it's very important regarding jewelry that is prohibited, with the exception of the hip hop and palm division, that you are making sure that those things are being removed from your athlete. Of course, your medical alert bracelets or necklaces, they're not considered jewelry. We do ask you to tape them to your athlete's body for safety. If for some reason there's a super sensory issue with that, please see myself or Russell so that we are aware of that, and we can also let the safety judge know about that as well. I am aware of a few athletes that do wear these types of bracelets, but if necessary, please just let us know. Nails. I saw some beautiful nails at the qualifier. As a reminder, they do need to be trimmed and no nail polish at our competition. Russell, do you have anything before I move on?
No, I think you got everything.
Thank you. Alrighty, Steve, do you want to take these on, the additional updates for summer games, or do you want me to go through them?
I would be happy to do so.
Thank you. Here you go.
Thank you very much, Anna. In the opening ceremony and block party information, kind of talked about it, but the dinner for Friday will be at the University Union in the Susquehanna Dining Hall, as it has been in the past. The block party will be located in Lot 20, which is near the CQ Arena, same place as opening ceremony. That will take place on Friday. And then the Olympic Park will take place in Towson Center parking lot 21. Again, that's where we'll be setting up some things on Friday to prepare for the Olympic Park and the activities throughout the weekend in that Towson Center lot number 21. Again, we talked about some of the entertainment, music, some demonstrations, some entertainment, some food vendors, etc. Those will be located in parking lot 21 throughout the weekend, starting on Saturday. The parade for opening ceremony will begin around 6:30, and that again will take place in lot 20, which is the CQ Arena. We'll parade in. Then we have some great entertainment, some nice video footage that will occur during the parade of athletes, and then we will also have a live feed of the lighting of the cauldron that will take place outside, but it will be a live feed inside to the CQ Arena where everyone's seated for the opening ceremony. The next comment about each delegation, what we need information, we'll work that with your head delegates. But if you have some suggestions for them, for individuals who may have the honor to carry in the banner and represent the county or the area program, let your head delegate know. And then also let them know if you have any individuals who have or who use wheelchairs or walkers or other devices to help with mobility challenges. Let them know so that we can make sure that we have seating arrangements for those individuals inside the CQ Arena. Next. Transportation, just some basic things. When you're on campus, if you're riding the shuttles, you can stand. Once those shuttles leave campus heading out to swimming or the off-site softball competition venue, you must remain seated. And we will have the shuttle systems running throughout campus. They'll hit the different competition venues, as we stated earlier, as well as they will be marked for the off-site venues. They'll also hit the housing facilities, both Douglas, Towson Run area, as well as Towers C and D. If the buses are crowded, just be patient. There will be plenty of buses making those loops. And again, just be patient, and they'll continuously run those loops. Next. On June 9th, again, starting around 8 o'clock, there'll be the service running from those lots 13 and 14 that we talked about earlier on the map down to lot 21 for the cheerleading competition. And then that loop will run from parking lots 13 and 14 to the same lot, and then back to the housing facilities, and then continuously running through the opening ceremony and block party till about 8 o'clock p.m. Then we will have those buses start to get staged for the departure of athletes from opening ceremony, again, which will be called by delegation for the departure to head back to your housing facilities, get ready for the activities on Saturday and Sunday. Again, the slides will be sent out to you, so I'm not going to read through everything here. But on Saturday, they'll start at 6 o'clock servicing the housing facilities to get individuals there for breakfast. And then, again, running through the off-site competition venues for swimming and softball. And picking those up will be at the University Union Garage area. And those shuttle systems will continuously go back and forth from the off-site venues. And again, we will continuously have them running the shuttle loop on campus from 7 to 5. And the shuttles will run until competition is concluded. So if some of the competitions, for whatever reason, are running a little behind, don't panic. We'll be in constant communication with the Towson University Transportation Services and make sure that those shuttles will service everyone until we get them back for the dance as well as other activities and get them home that evening. Sunday, basically the same thing. We'll have the shuttles running the loops. So again, just stress to the family members, and others to park in lot 13 and 14, and the shuttles will take them to the different campus sites, and they can access everything through that means. Next. We talked about if there's any delays, don't worry. We do have all the shuttles are wheelchair accessible, and if there are any specific needs, there is a number to call. And as Mike pointed out in our presentation earlier this evening, it's not 20 minuets, it's 20 minutes in advance of the pickup desired. But again, that was a little slide there. But just note again that all of the shuttle systems do have wheelchair accessibility. Again, we stress this, but again, just to help us get an organized dismissal from the opening ceremony, just stay in your seats until the delegation's called, and that will help the transportation system as well as make sure that everyone's in the place where they need to be. So we will have some, again, some entertainment, some music playing as the buses depart to get you back to your housing facilities on Friday evening. A little bit more information about the Olympic Park and Victory Dance. As we stated earlier, there'll be some activities in the Olympic Park on Friday. And then on Saturday, the theme of the dance is the 70s era. I promise you'd get some more information about that. It's basically a disco and hippie outfits that we're looking for. So I know we're going to see a lot of great costumes. So be ready to boogie down on Saturday. Again, that will be in lot 21 in the Towson Center outside. Weather permitting. If not, we'll move it inside to the Towson Center. And as we talked about a couple times earlier in the presentation, the Young Athlete Program will have an open house in the Towson Center between 10 and 1 on Saturday. Again, it's a great program for the athletes who are up and coming in the Special Olympics movement. So if you're available, obviously with all Special Olympics, there's no charge. It's just come check it out and spread the word about the great Young Athletes Program that we've started to make some strides with here at Special Olympics Maryland. Some updates for family services. Again, the family hospitality will be located, a smaller one there for cheerleading during the cheerleading competition. Then it will move out to the parking lot area in lot 21 right outside of Towson Center for the remaining days for summer games for those who are on campus at Towson. So there will not be family hospitality at each of the competition venues throughout the campus. There'll just be the one location. We're also looking at the possibilities for family hospitalities at swimming and off-site Cockeysville for softball. Those are to be determined at this point. The family reception we spoke about, which is Saturday from 7:30 to 8:30 during the victory dance for the athletes. So again, that's restricted to family members only. Athletes, etc., should be out to dance with their peers and having a good time and not sitting down listening to speakers where it may be a little bit boring for the athletes, but very informative for the family members that need to gather that information. There will be a family mailing that'll go out on the next week or two. That will go out electronically and by hard snail mail to family members who have registered and get that information out. Those looking for merchandise, again, Friday in the block party in lot 20, and then Saturday in the Olympic Park, which is right there where cheerleading will happen on Saturday in lot 21. We're looking at the possibility, again, of having merchandise sales at the off-site campus or the off-site venues as well. So those are to be determined at this time. Meals, we talked about the cheerleaders. Anna covered that very well. Thank you, Anna. And then all delegations staying overnight. We'll have the dinners and breakfast as appropriate. And again, just stressing that dinner on Saturday will not be at the University Union. Don't go there looking for your dinner. Again, that will be in lot 21 at the Towson Center from Famous Dave's, and then we'll have some entertainment and move into the dance later that evening. There will be opportunities for others to purchase meals. Again, I stress that these are approximate prices, still working out the details with some vendors and some others. So this just is an idea of approximately how much those different meals will be costing if those people want to go that route. So again, there will be food available for purchase. Again, and we want to thank Famous Dave's for their sponsorship and providing the meals Saturday night for all delegation members.
Excuse me, Steve. Just for clarity, the only meals that will be provided are for the delegates. For lunch, we will not have lunches available for purchase from the general public.
That I think is still to be determined for Saturday.
Okay.
I don't believe there'll be anything on Friday, but Saturday,
okay.
based on the food vendors and the opportunities provided through Towson, there may be that opportunity.
That is
Saturday,
correct. Yeah,
Saturday
on Friday, there is not the opportunity. On Saturday, if it is there, it will be very limited, just because they don't want wastage on the and because we have to pay for the wastage, quite frankly. So.
Thank you very much. I just wanted that clarity so that parents were expecting that they could buy a lunch at the cheerleading venue. That is not an option for the cheer venue.
Right. Again, the control center, which will be in the Minigan room at the United Stadium, the delegation registration will be held at the University Union. Again, that's where everyone will get their T-shirts, and then the heads of delegation will pass those out to all the participants and registered members of their program. The housing we talked about, Tower C and D, Towson Run and Douglas are the locations. Everyone, the county directors or the heads of delegation have submitted their housing forms to Jane Dunn. So if you have any questions, just contact your head delegate, and they can inform you of any housing questions where your location may be. If you are staying overnight throughout the summer games, just remember when you check out first thing in the morning on Sunday, turn in your keys to the front desk so that we don't have to hunt you down or charge anybody for any missing keys. So, and we can go on to the next one from there. Just some of the general information for social media. Again, it's a very cool thing to do. I'm not real familiar with all of it. I'm getting more familiar, but I know a lot of people, the more postings and everything we have, the more messages we get out to the general public and show everyone what excitement you're having at the cheerleading competition and the venue, pictures and videos and things like that. So again, it's just a way to get the message out, show your pride of the athletes as well as the movement and Special Olympics Maryland. Let everyone know you're having a good time, etc. So I'll leave it at that, and then I'll turn it back to you, Anna.
Thank you very much. I now open it to any general questions from any of the coaches regarding the things that have been presented this evening.
And as a reminder to folks, if you have a question, you can either type it into the question box on your control panel, or you can raise your hand, hitting the little raise hand button in the control panel for the webinar as well. And if you do that, we will open the line and let you ask your question. Give folks a moment.
Okay, silence is golden. I guess we covered everything very well. I would like to thank you on behalf of myself and Russell and Special Olympics Maryland for all that you do, all the hard work and dedication that you put into our program and the athletes. And I'm very excited to see all of you and the teams in just a few weeks. And please feel free to reach out to myself or Russell should you have any additional questions.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your evening. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Good night,